Welcome to News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss. Here now the news for April 28th, 2021. Android users can now use their phones in place of a Magic Band as Magic Mobile has gone live for them. Part of the My Disney Experience app, Magic Mobile enables the user's device to function as a park ticket, room key, and more. You can access Disney Magic Mobile through the menu on the bottom right. It'll first prompt you to set up your pass. You can customize your animated ticket with different park-themed options. After selecting your animation, the app will prompt you to save your pass to Google Pay. Similar to iPhones, Android uses the Near Field Communication or NFC function of a phone, which is also used for tap and pay technologies. Phones without NFC or those not able to install the latest version of the My Disney Experience app will not be able to use Magic Mobile. Once you've successfully saved your pass, it'll be available for you to use at the turnstiles. Make sure to select Hold Near Terminal to use. Soon, resort guests will be able to use Magic Mobile to charge to their rooms as well, but the feature is not yet live. In the ongoing refurbishment of the Jungle Cruise to address cultural insensitivity, another change has taken place today. The spears with skulls mounted on them have been removed from the abandoned pygmy welcoming party scene of the attraction at the Magic Kingdom. The left side of the scene formerly had spears stuck into the ground with skulls mounted on them. Other changes around the Jungle Cruise recently, of course, include the removal of Trader Sam and the trapped safari rhino pole. Trader Sam's animatronic, of course, being replaced with Trader Sam's gift shop, as we told you earlier in the week. We may have left the holiday season behind us, but it's never too early to think about Christmas tree decorations. A brand new ornament featuring the hitchhiking ghost of the Haunted Mansion is now available at the Magic Kingdom. It's $19.99. The ornament features 3 hitchhiking ghosts in front of the mansion with their thumbs out. It says, quote, "Beware of hitchhiking ghosts" beneath them and has the Haunted Mansion logo. The ornament is available at Memento Mori. If you've been searching for the perfect Walt Disney World mug to hold your morning coffee, we may have the one for you. This new mug matches the trinket trays that came out earlier in the year, featuring the Walt Disney World park icon, Cinderella Castle, Spaceship Earth, the Tower of Terror, because that's the park icon now, and the Tree of Life. I like this one behind me better, this Eiffel Tower. Though Cinderella Castle has been painted in real life, it is still mostly white on this mug. Each icon is a raised design, and they're painted in a somewhat cartoonish, minimalist look. We found it at the Emporium for $14.99. As we round out the 5th month at Epcot since construction began last November, there is hope on the horizon. While Disney has not yet set an opening date for La Gelitaria, detail work on the facade has been progressing over the last month with the addition of blue shutters, wrought iron accents, and pavement work. This week, more details have been added. La Gelitaria, located on the American Adventures side of the Italy Pavilion, replaces the Gelati kiosk, which will close when this opens. Iron lampposts have been added in front of the stand. A sign holder is now in place above the service windows, and string lights have been added stretching from the roof to the adjacent facade. The string light installation is ongoing with wires dangling loose near the building. Hopefully, once this facade is done, this thing will actually open. It was supposed to open in February, I think, and now it's gonna be May. That's how the song goes, right? There were plenty of crew members on World Showcase Lagoon in Epcot Tuesday morning as they cleaned and painted some of the Harmonious barges parked in the water. Crew members were atop this barge as well as on a boat to the side. The crew was pressure washing some of the exterior closest to the water. The other crew members were likely working on technical elements. The other side of the barge was freshly washed and therefore looked darker. Painters on this side seemed to be working on the yellow strip visible from the barge's platform. A few hours later, in fact, that yellow strip was completely painted black. The front of the barge was also looking a lot cleaner. Painters were filling in spots of black paint while power washing was finished. The barges haven't been out for long, but the elements and water have already done a number on them. Celebrate National Denim Day with a new addition to the Disney Parks designer collection, a Denim Ear Headband. The light-washed Denim Ear Headband has a pocket design on one of the ears resembling one that you would find on the back of a pair of jeans. The pocket is even complete with some distressing and a red Mickey patch. Designer ears will be released on April 28th, that's today, the Ever After Jewelry Company and Accessories in Disney Springs and also on Shop Disney. Nothing says summer like s'mores. Too bad it's not summer yet. We stopped, either way, maybe it is in Florida, feels like it. We stopped by the Roaring Fork at Wilderness Lodge to try this new dessert. The Roaring S'more features chocolate mousse, graham cracker cake, and a caramel marshmallow. Treat is $5.79. You can read a full review at WDWNT.com. On Monday night, as part of a special broadcast live from Disneyland, Sleeping Beauty Castle was ceremoniously relit for the first time since March of 2020. The broadcast included presentations from Josh D'Amaro, the chairman of Disney Parks, and Ken Patrick, the president of Disneyland Resort. Views of a reawakened Sleeping Beauty castle were shown. After more than a year of closure, Disneyland and California Adventure are set to reopen this Friday, April 30th. Of course, stay tuned to Disneyland News Today for all the coverage you need. Speaking of that coverage, it kind of started already. Though Disneyland Park's grand reopening isn't until Friday, cast members and their guests have started visiting for previews as of April 27th. And in a new video from Disney, we got to see cast members prepare to enter the park for the first time in forever, you're seeing now. But we also prepared to enter the park as well. We were there on the scene. Snow White's Enchanted Wish opened to guests for the first time during that soft opening. The attraction is a reimagined version of Snow White's Scary Adventures with new technology and updated scenes. Of course, signs have been updated with the attraction's new name, and in the queue are storybooks detailing the beginning of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs story. One change we noticed immediately was that the owl on the wall ahead was at first boarding was updated. The wood board used to say beware, it now says hi ho. It's way more, he also looks way less scary and foreboding. He's a very pleasant owl. The entire queue used to be scary as well, but that's been updated. And now takes guests through Snow White's cozy room in the Evil Queen's castle. It's nice that even though the Queen hates her, she gave her a nice room. This used to be the Evil Queen's chamber with a skull, chains, and her spell book. As it did before, the ride picks up Snow White's story where the queue leaves off, beginning in the dwarf's cottage. In the first scene, Snow White is now dancing with the dwarfs instead of climbing the stairs. The rest of the scene remains the same, although the paint has been refreshed, but you also smell a little bit of cinnamon in the air, as it represents a freshly baked apple pie. And as the ride moves on, a shadowed projection and then a screen show the dwarfs heading off to work in the mine. The mine itself is now brighter with more colorful gemstones shining all around the walls. Also, there's new figures of Dopey and Doc. I think this scene was vastly improved. Guests then enter the Evil Queen's lair. The initial set pieces look approximately the same, but now the skeletons have been removed, replaced with projection and lighting effects and cauldrons and bubbling brews and all sorts of things like that. Also, a new effect has been added to the reveal of the poison apple, probably the coolest effect in the whole new attraction. After that, in a archway, sure, a screen depicting the magic mirror shows Snow White taking a bite of the apple, and the mirror then shatters. This is where the old hag used to emerge on a boat. Why a mirror with Snow White is in this alley, this waterway under a bridge, I have no idea. Around the corner, the dwarfs are climbing a cliff to stop the old hag, who is now depicted via projection. The next room sparkles as Prince Charming awakens Snow White with true love's kiss. These are where the biggest changes come into effect. Instead of the witch coming out of a door with the apple, we just have a giant book blocking the door of the cottage. Not sure why. It's weird. There's some weird decisions that were made here. But after that, you have Snow White standing on a cliffside with the prince and her animal friends, a whole new finale instead of the dwarfs climbing the cliff to stop the old hag here. The ride then takes us through a final doorway to see the giant storybook reading Happily Ever After with a brand new glitter effect. It's safe to say the new version of the ride puts more of an emphasis on Snow White's happy ending than her scary adventures. I know everyone's going to ask my thoughts on this. I think the figures they made are very pretty. I think the mine scene is vastly improved. I love the new effects with the witch's cauldron. I have no problem with this up until that weird tunnel with the projection. I don't understand. At that point, the whole ride falls apart. It's like we don't know what to do. Apparently there wasn't a budget to get rid of the weird arch and like make that make sense. They kind of shoved the dwarfs off to the side. They stacked them. They almost look like they're in a cheerleading pyramid. It's weird. And then the big book blocking the cottage is really odd. The finale, there's nothing wrong with the finale with the glitter effects and the happy waving and all that. Nothing wrong with that, but that portion in between is a mess. It's kind of a mess, but some improvements, some things maybe not so much, I would say is what to take away from that. Earlier this month, Disney revealed that changes had taken place at the Haunted Mansion during the year-long closure. Disneyland doesn't reopen again until Friday, but we did also get to check out the mansion during the cast member preview. What we got to see was, of course, the nicely reworked pet cemetery outside with all its new accents. You also got to see the new load area, which includes the return of the original portrait by Mark Davis, the April to December, which changes as you stand there over time. Also in that hallway, we have this dividing wall piece that's there. Of course, the main reason they did all of this was to rework the handicap or special need load and unload section off to the side, give them a little more room, make that a little easier for everyone. That was the main reason for all this work. And then while they were at it, they decided to do some other things, which is nice. It's nice that there are some little nods for guests as well. There is a statue of the one-eyed cat where the one eye lights up in red every once in a while. Of course, that was original concept for the ride by Imagineer Xavier Atencio. The practical reason, again, to clean up the load area for that those who need extra assistance or are in wheelchairs. But yeah, so these were the two big things that came out of the two big changes out of the parks. Obviously, we're going to cover a lot more of the operational changes at Disneyland thanks to the pandemic. But right now on our YouTube channel, you can go check out videos of this new load area at the Haunted Mansion. And as well, we have a full ride video of Snow White's Enchanted Wish. Make sure you check those out. And you can judge them for yourself. Disney Parks shared a TikTok the other night highlighting the show building for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway looming over Toontown. The building now hosts a tongue-in-cheek sign alluding to the currently unthemed structure. The sign features Mickey and Minnie in construction helmets. It declares, quote, "What big building? There's no big building here." Paid for by the Toontown Department of Implausible Deniability. Obviously, we hope this is temporary and will be replaced with cartoon hills like the ones that were moved before construction began. But based on those slats on the wall there, we think that is going to happen. They're probably waiting for those to arrive. So at least they did something thoughtful and funny in the meantime. But I sure hope those hills arrive soon because this is a sad look for Toontown. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is already open at Hollywood Studios in Florida, but it is coming to Disneyland in 2023. Originally, it was supposed to be 2022, but the pandemic delayed the attraction. The Jungle Cruise is undergoing the same refurbishment to address inclusion and cultural sensitivity at Disneyland Park. And because of that, the attraction will not be reopening to the public on Friday. In fact, the attraction is covered in construction walls currently obscuring anyone's view into the attraction. So it will not reopen at Disneyland until the work is completed. But Disney has promised that will be sometime this year. As Disneyland Resort prepares to open to the public, cast members visiting for previews have taken note of the COVID-19 safety measures. We spotted round physical distancing markers at Disneyland Park. We saw these in the waiting in the foyer at the Haunted Mansion, but here you're seeing them specifically in the waiting area, the Tiki Garden outside of Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. These distancing markers are not the same or similar to those at Walt Disney World, except for the fact that they are circular. What's nice about these is they represent the park. They have a very classic representation of Sleeping Beauty Castle in the middle of each of them. At Walt Disney World, we just have colored circles. They're not very exciting, but at Disneyland, Sleeping Beauty Castle adorns these markers. Marvel Avengers Campus will be opening at California Adventure on June 4th, and while there have been no in-person previews of the area just yet, we were able to get a glimpse of them thanks to Google Maps, at least from above. Marvel Avengers Campus is looking like a locale straight out of the films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Comprised of several heroic locations, the Avengers logo is seen at the center of the fully immersive land. Web Industries, the building on the left, will house the new Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure ride, where you get to sling webs along with Spidey. You may also recognize the arched roof in the center of the building cluster, as it was home to It's Tough to Be a Bug originally. Next to Web are the restrooms, a leftover structure from A Bug's Land as well. At the end of the row sits the PIM Test Kitchen, a food innovation science lab where the food and drinks tell a story. Located just across the path from Web is where the interactive Doctor Strange show will take place and the Web Suppliers store. There also appears to be a small merchandise cart by the restrooms. Meanwhile, Marvel Avengers Campus will be accessible from Cars Land and Hollywood Land, just as A Bug's Land was. Same pathways will be open into this land. The temporary wall lined in blue is currently a placeholder until construction begins someday on the e-ticket attraction that will be attached to that building, which is currently just where some Marvel characters will appear in the meantime. For more information on these stories and more, head on over to WDWNT.com or DisneylandNewsToday.com if you just want Disneyland coverage. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, The Vacationeer, the engineers of your next magical vacation. Sit back and let their team of vacation planning experts craft your family's next trip. The best part, their services are free. Visit WDWNT.travel for details. The Vacationeer, the official travel agency of WDWNT. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to WDW News Today on YouTube for more great content, and click the bell for notifications. Also, make sure to select all notifications so you never miss an episode of the show. This Thursday at 9 p.m., do not miss the season finale, the last show ever from our iDrive studio of WDW News Tonight. Again, live at 9 p.m., it's Tom and Nick's Tower of Terror, a very special farewell episode from the iDrive studio. Last show, for News Tonight at least, in this studio. We will have a couple more shows of News Today from in here, of course. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
From WDWNT, the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Park Center. Each week we pick the top 7 stories in Disney Parks news from around the globe, and the panel and I break down, discuss, and debate what they mean for us, the fans. From the latest announcements to openings and delays to scandals and snacks and merchandise and more, we cover it all in 30 minutes. So join us every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/WDWNT and watch episodes on demand anytime. Or subscribe to the audio version of the show on your favorite podcast app.